and that is to speak to you and have you ask me questions. And usually it's your questions that will really bring the issues that are to be spoken here. So, anybody with questions? I'll repeat the question. Don't worry about the mic. Are the Gazans Arabs, terrorists from the local area, or are they from where? Well, you have to understand the history of the Palestinians. The Palestinians, if you look at the historians who've been there, they documented fairly well where the origin of the Palestinians are from. Gaza is really an extension of Egypt. It was an extension of Egypt. The people in Gaza are all Egyptians. In fact, Palestinians in Judea really don't like Gazans, and Gazans don't like the Palestinians in Judea. They totally hate each other. The conflict between Hamas and the PLO is a natural tribal conflict, really. It's not only a political conflict of Hamas versus PLO, because all Palestinians really support Islam unless they're Christian Palestinian. So the hatred is really a tribal. In fact, we had neighbors from Gaza, and nobody liked them. You don't belong here. You know, you're not one of us, period. Even marrying within clans. You know, our clans would not mingle with other clans. Kind of we remained puritanical that way. My uncle married from Tamar, Ta'amre, is really the name of the daughter of David. In fact, the Tamarites tell you that we're descendants of David. So the Judean kind of Palestinians will always kind of stick. We don't eat camel. We refuse to eat camel. You go to Hebron, they eat camel. In fact, we were at civil war with Hebron. Hebron used to, the war between the Qassites and the Yemenites. We were Yemenites. They were Qassites, Arabs. And they told us we don't belong here. And they persecuted us tremendously. And they eat camel. No, we don't eat camel. We have special dietary things. Even though Islam doesn't forbid camel, we refuse to eat camel. We refuse to milk cheese, milk with fish for some reason. I don't know why fish. There was some confusion somewhere. But we had very much Jewish.
Like the kosher. Yeah.
Exactly. Our men would stand up and eat lamb standing up with the canes in their hands as a tradition.
Oh my.
Yeah. And I asked my father, Father, why are they not sitting on the chairs? Eating the lamb on the table. They put the whole thing on the table and they eat it on the table, standing up with the canes in their right hand. He said, that's a tradition we always do. Why do we do this tradition, Father? Don't know. It's just a tradition. Commemorating Moses across the Jordan River. They would go and commemorate Moses. And I said, what did you do to commemorate Moses? We went to his graveside. There's a place called the Burial of Moses. And what did you do when you got there? So we danced. I said, dancing is not even Islamic. You know? Our weddings, all our weddings, how we brought forth the bride to King David. How we brought forth the bride to King Solomon. I said, why do we always think about David and Solomon, Grandma? She says, I don't know. It's a tradition. So we had so many traditions that were Jewish, things that are no longer exist in Judaism today, including my grandmother would make cakes that are not made with leaven, sweet cakes, killing doves when a child is born. When I was born, my mother said they're actually swaddling cloth, and they got 2 doves and they sacrificed doves. So the Palestinians really is a mixed heritage. There are Jewish who don't know they're Jews. And there are Gazans. And there are all kinds of things. And there's Greeks. It's a mix. It's a big mix. Question?
You expounded all on... I just wanted to see you run. Okay. You expounded all upon Ahmadinejad and the 12th Imam and the well and that all of that is...
Ahmadinejad, the 12th, not Imam, Imam. The 12th Imam and the well. Okay. That's the typical American question. Always. Ahmadinejad, the Imam, the well. Forget the well. Forget the 12th Imam. Take it out of your mind. Ahmadinejad is the Hujjatiyah, you know, they are a small group. They believe that Imam comes, he lives in a well right now, blah, blah, blah. That's their version. But remember, the bigger picture is that all Muslims, regardless whether Sunni or Shia, all Muslims believe in the coming of the Mahdi. People think, oh, this is a Shiite thing. No! Every Muslim believes in the coming of the Mahdi. In fact, Just to show you the naivete in the West, I went to a coffee shop with a Messianic rabbi and a pastor. I was invited to speak, just like an event like this. They took me across the street to a coffee shop. And the pastor, the Messianic rabbi, was wiser. The pastor said, I've been coming here for 20-some years. Beautiful people, Palestinians. Beautiful people, never had a problem. You always hear that comment. You know, they're so nice, never had a problem. They just don't hate us, they love us, blah, 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 blah. I said, great, okay. The waiter comes, you know, owner of the restaurant, one of the sons or whatever, he comes to take the order. And the rabbi, Messianic rabbi, and the pastor began to talk. I said, just act as you're talking by yourselves. I want to have a conversation with the waiter in the Arabic language. So he came and said, Assalamu alaikum. He says, Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You know, once he knows the formality, you know, this is one of us, the door opens. There's quick, easy access talk now. We can have a straight talk and, you know, and prove it. You know, it's different. When they speak to Americans, it's different than we speak to one of our own. And I said to him, you know how funny, I'm here eating at your restaurant. I've been invited by a pastor and a Jew, a Christian and a Jew here. This is a Messianic Jew, and I was invited for lunch. I didn't tell him about my belief or anything. And he says, you know, what do you think? I says, you know, didn't Muhammad says that the day of judgment shall not come to pass until the tribes of Islam defeat the tribes of Israel, and the stones and the trees will cry out, here's a Jew hiding behind me, come and kill him. What do you think? Should we kill this rabbi here? And he said, yes, but not today. We have to wait till the Mahdi comes. It's true. I knew that was the answer, because that's the answer I believe too. Not now, wait till the Mahdi comes. So he left, and the Jewish rabbi, Messianic rabbi, asked me, he says, what did he say? I said, he said, bon appetit, enjoy your lunch. You are not on the menu yet. True story. Okay, I'll give you another example. Sheikh, what's his name? James Woolsey. He was the head of the CIA. I shared platforms with James Woolsey at big events. He's an expert on terrorism. You know James Woolsey. He was the head of the CIA. I said, James, I'm going to prove to you that you also don't know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. All you experts in terrorism, you don't know. You know enough. You're like a machine. You memorize all these, you know Osama bin Laden. You know the movements of the terrorists. You know all the technicalities, but you really don't have the essence of understanding, really, what's it all about. I said, you say that there are peaceful Muslims. Okay, sure, there are Muslims who are peaceful, but they're peaceful not because of Islam, they're peaceful despite of Islam. I said, tell me, can you find me a single Muslim scholar? Name me one Muslim scholar you consider peaceful. One, just one, and I'll prove to you that you don't know what you're talking about. He said to me, well, let me think about this. He said, Hisham Qabbani. He gave me the name Hisham Qabbani. Qabbani is a well-known Sufi Muslim. The Sufi Muslims are peaceful. Always. All Western experts say, Sufi Muslims are peaceful. Okay? So Hisham Qabbani, Sufi Muslim. Of course, he condemns terrorism openly in America. I said, did you read his Arabic writing? You listen to them what they say in English, but you never hear what they say in the Arabic. That's the problem. Did you know that Hisham Qabbani stated it in his book that when the Mahdi comes, Christianity will cease to exist? How is that peaceful? How is that peaceful? Go listen to Sheikh Kibrisi speaking in front of Erdogan of Turkey. You should see it, it's on YouTube. And he's saying that we need to revive Neo-Ottomanism. The beast of Islam, the head of Islam, was wounded. And the wound is being healed. As it's being healed, that beast with the head wound will say, who is like the beast? who can make war with him. Welcome to jihad. Welcome to Islamic war. See, you're sheep. You think in cavalry. They think in No, you think of Calvary, they think of cavalry. Right? The Bible is Calvary. The Quran is cavalry. That's the bottom line. In fact, when you go to Daniel, you think in your mind that the Antichrist is an atheist. He's an atheist, homosexual, who comes to be maybe French or German. Hi, follow me. How is that going to work out? And then the Bible says, Libya, Egypt, and Kush, Sudan, will follow him in submission. How is Libya, Egypt, and Sudan is going to follow, How does that make any sense? It says in the Bible, he does not honor the desire of women. It doesn't say he doesn't desire women. Why does it say that? He does not honor the desire of women. He doesn't care about women's rights. Oh, well, he doesn't honor the Messiah, who's the desire of every woman. That was an ancient interpretation. He doesn't desire, he hates the Messiah, who is the desire of all women, to be given birth by all women in ancient times. If this is the right interpretation today, can you tell me any woman here desires to give birth to the Messiah? Any? There's no woman who desires to give birth to the Messiah. Messiah came already. So out with that stupid interpretation. He doesn't honor the desires of women. He doesn't care about women's wants, needs, desires, wishes, rights. Who doesn't honor women's rights, desires today? But he's not atheist. Because if you go to Daniel 11, in Daniel 11, I hope you brought your Tanakhs with you. Look what it says. It sums up this Islamic Antichrist Mahdi in one verse, 2 verses. The king shall do according to his will. He shall exalt and magnify himself above every god. He shall speak blasphemies against the God of gods, to say he was never crucified, to say he's not the God, not the Father, not the Son, the Trinity. That's blasphemy. What else is also blasphemy? Blasphemy is to deny God's edicts. When God ordains something, you deny it, you're blaspheming God. So if you believe that you are a Christian and you want to support a Palestinian state, you're blaspheming God. Because you're denying what God ordained. But Obama said, blessed are the peacemakers. But I say to you, by peace he will deceive many. You can't take one verse and not apply the other with it. Blessed are the peacemakers. Okay. Let me ask you a question. God judges the world for dividing the land of Israel. Joel 3. I will gather all nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat, then I will enter into judgment there with them on the account of my people, my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations. They have also divided up my land. Right? So the division of the land of Israel, God's going to come judge the world because of dividing that land called Israel. Now, you're pro-Palestine because you love the Palestinians. Okay. Loving the Palestinians doesn't mean the same as pro-Palestine. So, I want to have a Palestinian state. Now, the Antichrist, it says in the Bible, he divides the land for gain. The devil divides the land for gain. Now, if the devil divides the land, wants to create a Palestinian state, and you want to create a Palestinian state, what side are you on? Messiah or Antichrist? How can you be on the side of Antichrist and the side of Christ at the same time? You can't be on both sides. I'm sorry, God. Judgment day comes. I'm sorry. I listened to Walid Shoebat, but I didn't really like him.